If you've made video for almost any length of time, you've probably asked yourself, oh my word, is it worth it? Because it's so much work, is it not? The editing, the shooting, the taking the camera around, the fixing a camera, it's a lot, it's a lot. But I didn't just keep on doing video in 2026 after the hardest half year of my life. Seriously, I became a caretaker, I cleaned out my parents' hoarder house. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of backstory, a lot of lore, but I'm not gonna tell you that. I didn't just double down, I septupled down. I'm talking about the 7 kinds of video that I am making and how it's a key part of my strategy. If you're new here, welcome, I'm Edoyama. I help you make one simple video a week to get sales and grow your business. And I just love creating content, but I don't love it so much that I do it easily when it's super busy. But there's 4 reasons why I still do it, and I'm gonna tell you the 7 kinds of video. But hey, like the old TED Talk said, start with why. Why? First of all, video creates connection, and I gotta go pick up my rental car and take you with me, and that's actually gonna demonstrate the first point. You see, because I'm making this video and you're watching me and listening to me and coming along with me in this gorgeous, beautiful Portland airport. I'm actually here for a wedding today. It's creating connection because we're traveling together. You and me, we're on a trip. I'm all dapper in my blazer. I'm not in LA, I'm in Oregon. This is nice. And the video creates connection that just written content, other things just does not create. Well, you're getting to know me in a way that you wouldn't have known me otherwise. Reason number 2, I'm gonna blaze through the rest. Connection creates conversations. Conversations are so clutch because I don't just do this for the views, I do this for the relationships. And if you're in business, and I assume a lot of you are, the relationships are super key. And 3, conversations come before conversion. If you're selling anything that costs more than, let's say, 40, 30 bucks, in this economy, maybe 30 bucks these days. But if you're selling almost anything these days, the conversions happen after conversations. You have to strike up those conversations. So that's why it's so important to make connections. Let's hear ground transportation. I think that's where we're headed next. But here's maybe the biggest thing that nobody's thinking or talking enough about. Before you have a conversation that leads to a conversion, you gotta get this one part right, which is you have to change what people believe. Listen, the reason people aren't doing business with you, it's not because you haven't made enough content or they haven't seen enough content. The reason they don't do business with you yet, it's all because they don't believe the right things yet. Have you ever had an impulse purchase? Have you ever had an impulse purchase off of a piece of YouTube content? Sometimes, and you can shout at me in the comments, but there's probably creators that you've watched 10, 20, 50, 100 videos before you bought something off them. But there's others, you watch one video and you're ready to invest 100 bucks, 200 bucks, 500 bucks, right? It's all about shifting beliefs and that light bulb moment that goes off that helps someone believe. And what the funnest part of all this is you can do this at every step of the way. When you're creating the connection, when you're taking people on a trip with you, when you're creating connection, when you're creating conversation, at any given point here, you can change what people believe. And I believe you should be changing what people believe because that's the best way to serve them. And selling has a lot to do with serving. Maybe I'm too optimistic, but I believe at the end of the day, this is what it's really supposed to be. Okay, I'm looking for ground transportation. I think that sign says ground transportation. Headed to the rental car. Okay, so I'm doing 7 types of video. I'm gonna list them in the order of least important, least valuable to most valuable. It's kind of harsh to say it's the least valuable, but it's my favorite back in the day. I'm still gonna be doing it, but Instagram. Well, first kind of movement video that I'm making is Instagram, and that includes stories and reels. Now, reels give you reach on Instagram. It's still the way to reach new people. Less than 10% of your followers see anything you post. Actually, that's the 10% rule. On any platform these days, only 10% of your followers see just about anything that you ever post. So that's why Instagram is super cool, even though your reach went super down and it's super harsh right now. Like Oh my gosh, if you were on Instagram in the 2020s, shout at me if you were in the comments, but dang, Instagram reach used to be way better. There's reasons. AI basically, it got so much smarter that it can pinpoint who should be watching you and send it just to them. You went viral because it was dumb. That's the whole reason we used to go way more viral back in the day, because the algorithms weren't smart enough to connect us with the people that would really get the most out of us. So while that's super discouraging that you're not getting a billion bajillion views anymore, on the other hand, I would argue that you're probably getting better views in most cases, especially if you give the algorithm enough to work with. So you make reels and you reach new people, and then you sell in the stories. That's why I'm doing both. Sell in stories, why? Because it's really hard to sell to people that you've only met once. Instagram, your reels are very short. They have to be less than 60 seconds. Honestly, yeah, they could be more, but it's still better to go less than 60. 45 seconds, I keep hearing, is optimal. So yeah, you're stuck if you're trying to do more than that. Where is Sixt? It's one of these new rental brands, and I'm not quite sure where it is. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's this way. So I'm still going down. You sell in the stories because those are the people that already follow you. Weird thing about Instagram, if you're not aware, it's weird, but reels can get you seen by anybody, but stories only get seen by the people that are actually actively following you. So that's why you sell in your stories, because those people already know you. They're not gonna like click out in the middle. And a lot of people actually just watch stories. I wasn't aware of this. That was news to me when I started up on Instagram, but that happened. But here's the thing. To really win on Instagram, you're going to need to post 3 to 5 times a day, which is why I count it as the least important. I figured out some great new ways to increase my volume, because honestly, did I tell you this yet in this video? I've been making a name for myself, helping people make one simple video a week to get sales. That is not my vibe. I've got some new secrets that can make it happen, having a lot to do with AI and Claude. But if not for that, there's no way I would be doing Instagram. And that's why Instagram is least valuable out of all my platforms. I'll do some Facebook too, but I kind of group it together. Facebook, Instagram, and that's that. Number two. So what's better than Instagram? I hate to put it so low, but I love it still. But I think times have changed a little bit. YouTube long form, what you're watching right now. Now, I think it's still super valuable, which is why I'm doing it, and I'm returning to it. In fact, I've taken a long time away, but I've decided to make the effort to make a comeback up in here. One, because again, AI stuff is helping me edit faster, better, keep my catalog organized, make more use of it, repurpose. I'm making, oh, I don't want to spoil that, that's number 4. But anyway, YouTube long form. These longer videos are super valuable. Why? Because you can do it just while you do life. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing this video while I'm doing life. I'm trying to get to this wedding this afternoon, get my rental car. And I can teach you along the way. Teaching is reaching. Reaching is good, right? And so that's that. And again, YouTube over Instagram, why? On YouTube, your content lives forever. It doesn't. On Instagram, your content lasts like what, a day? I didn't even talk about TikTok. I am over TikTok right now. But Instagram, your content really just lasts about a day or so, tops, maybe 48 hours. YouTube, your content can last forever. Now, this format that I'm doing is not good for reach that way though. It's a vlog style walk and talk video. And so that's why I'm not ranking it as high as the other YouTube videos I'm making, which I'm excited to tell you about. But that's not number 3. Number 3 is I'm making videos for a platform that maybe you've never heard of even. But if you've heard of it, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Skool, S-K-O-O-L. I run a community called the Small Business Video School, and I am making very regular video content there in the form of basically group calls where I coach people. And there is a live, free group call every Wednesday night Pacific time in the Skool community, where I break down stuff like this, what's working, and I answer questions and I hang out. Some of you might know the small business growth group that I started back in the day. Oh, it's this way. And so I don't want you to miss out on these free calls. So check the link in the description, skool.com/business video school. That's where it's at. And I don't want to be annoying in line. I found it. Sixth. So I'm gonna step out and go for a quick walk. But good to know that we found it. We know where it is now. So, skool.com, live calls are amazing, but live calls can be content. Now it's kind of rambly when you do a live call though, right? There's problems. I can't just post those to YouTube. I can't just post those in the Skool. If you weren't at the call, it's kind of like one of those you had to be there type videos, one of those you had to be there type things. So what do you do with that? Well, you edit it down into clips. Now I hear you already saying, dude, so much work, and I agree, which is why I've never done it before. But if I could get sponsored by Claude Code, I totally would. But Claude, the AI, has been an absolute game changer for me because it can edit videos or to come up with the way I edit with Claude. But basically what I do now is I'm like, I'll tell Claude, hey, check out this YouTube video, check out this live call I did on Skool, and then make short clips of it. We're talking 1 to 3 minutes long, maybe 5, sometimes 10, but usually no more than 10. It's gonna be shorter than this video. And make a clip, put a title on it, help me make a thumbnail. Oh my gosh, it makes my thumbnails for me. It's still a little clumsy, which is again why I'm not breaking it out to teach everyone how I do it, but it's so possible. It's crazy what's possible right now. And so Claude makes my thumbnails. I'm gonna take my backpack off. And because Claude makes my thumbnails and Claude can do my edits, even like these punch in, punch out type things, and the AO cut out the dead space like Descript used to, I canceled my Descript subscription. Now granted, I have a $200 Claude Code subscription, which is yet another reason why I'm not sure if I'm ready to share that with y'all yet, because you gotta be invested in Claude Code in order for that to work. And I already can bet there's gonna be some questions. So exciting. Honestly, especially because I used to hire an assistant for $550 a month for 4 hours a week or 4 hours a day, work days, to do this kind of work for me. And they were excellent, by the way. Had a very excellent VA, but she could only do like 5 to 10, probably more like 5% of what I'm doing with Claude every day. And she's great. I'm a bad manager. I'll also say that. But Claude is very patient. Claude is a great learner. Claude is great at figuring out the best ways to do the things that you need it to do. So anywho, shout at me in the comments if you want more AI content. I will be breaking that down in the Skool. There's a free section of my Skool community and there's a paid section too. Small Business Video School Pro is where I'm planning to start dropping my AI tutorials. And it's mostly because it's so dang complicated. I know if someone's not invested, I don't think they're gonna do it because it's not like a 5-minute project. It is an involved project. But if you wanna have this kind of a pipeline where you can be in 4 places at once, because I already said Instagram, and by the way, Claude is the way that I'm also clipping up my Instagram stuff these days. And scheduling and reposting, because I'm terrible at reposting. You know, every video you make could be posted 3 times. Seriously, repost all your videos you make 3 times. Why? Because the stats on your first try are probably lying to you. There are a billion reasons a video doesn't perform or get the views that you hoped it would get, even if it's not going viral and stuff. But you gotta post at least twice to get an honest read on how good the video actually could do, in my opinion. But I say closer to 3 times. That also being said, remember the 10% rule, only 10% of your followers saw it the first time anyway, so post it again. Because, 90% of people didn't even see the thing. So just post it again, just schedule it already. I'm terrible at scheduling. Even with an app like Metrical, which I'm paying for now. I'm not good at setting it all up. So Claude is doing the scheduling for me. It's like having a staff member that it's like, oh, well, I got that for you. Did you want me to reschedule all of your best ones out 3 times each? Or all the other ones out, even like you said, all of them, not just the best ones. But I'll tell you right now, it's Edoyama Clips, link in description. It'll probably be right here. I'll try to put a card here if I remember. But go subscribe to Edoyama Clips, because I realized too, I started this channel doing a lot of this walking and talking kind of video. and for me to do clips of me talking at my desk, me giving some of my best ideas, but on a Zoom call, at a desk, in an office. Like, it doesn't vibe with the vibe of this channel. So I figured Edoyama Clips would be a great place for that too. So especially if you want more strategic and tactical, but it's also number 4 because 1 is super automatable. 2, it's also super for AI, for search, and for business. AI, I won't get too much into that, but you can get recommended by ChatGPT and Claude these days if you do it right. Making more videos, making more content with my name on it is really key for that. I want to be known as the LinkedIn video guy. I want to be known as the small business video guy. So there you go. It's going to be great for that. But also, I'm not the first person to do this strategy by a long shot. I'm doing it because I couldn't stop seeing it. It ranges from super business pros like Alex Hormozy and Gary Vee, social media pros, to Sean Cannell, Think Media, to also even the fun channels. Rainbolt. I don't know if you've ever watched Rainbolt. You show him a picture of a place and it like looks like there's no way you could ever figure out where it was, but he'd look at the direction of the sun, the shadow, what kind of tree it is, he sees like a little word on a sign and he figures out exactly where it is. Like, he knows every tree in Central Park in New York. He's insane. But he started making clips. Nemo, one of my favorite chess influencers. I play chess. I'm very bad at it, but Nemo, she's clipping out her stuff. Actually, a lot of chess players do. Actually, a lot of games channels do. So, and if you watch any movies and you enjoy watching parts of movies on YouTube, well, it's all clips, right? So that being said, that's number 4. Can you believe that that's only number 4 though? I got 3 more and we're getting to the real important ones now. They're all important, by the way, but I would say if I had to quit all 7 and just do 3, I would do these 3. And the least of these is LinkedIn Lives. LinkedIn Lives are awesome. Now, live video in general is awesome. And I should say Facebook, if I did live and I threw that in, it would add a little bit. But most of my people that follow me on Facebook, they're family and friends. Probably the same for you. But on LinkedIn, the best, and on any platform, the best thing about being live is that everyone gets notified. There's people in my network on LinkedIn that go live, and I never watch live, but I know their names because they're always going live. And so that's one thing, just to be top of mind. But 2, again, lives create conversations. And what do you need before a conversion? You need conversations. And what's the best way to more quickly change someone's belief? The reason people aren't buying from you, remember, it's because they don't believe what they need to believe to buy from you yet. Fastest way to do that, in conversation. You don't have to guess about content titles. They'll throw a question in the chat, and I watch the chat when I go live. And you should too, but I'll check out the chat and I'll answer questions live. And boom, we're getting connected. I'm changing beliefs. We're getting conversation and conversions. Perfect ground for conversions up in there. That's how I've met people that became clients on lives. That being said, I have a really hard time rating that higher than this, lower than this, but I will say I still believe number 2 is better than that, which is LinkedIn short video. Why? Oh my gosh, LinkedIn is so much easier than all these other platforms. YouTube, you gotta make a thumbnail, you gotta make a title, you gotta write a description. YouTube's about packaging. And thank goodness for Claude helping me do that. If it wasn't for AI and the new things I figure out how to do with AI, I would not be here on YouTube again. Honestly, I thought about quitting, which is why you didn't see much of me for the last few months here on YouTube, but I'm back. Edoyama Clips is launched, and it's Edoyama, formerly Super Simple Marketing, by the way. Not sure if you noticed the name change, but it changed. But it's flipping around, it's coming together, but shorts. Why LinkedIn short video? Because less than 1% of LinkedIn users make any sort of content at all. That means it is way less competitive. The bar is way lower. Instagram, you really got to show up with not just your A game, with media A game. You got to have solid edits. You got to, or be really funny, or be really clever, because you're competing with cooking. You're competing with memes, you're competing with humor, you're competing with pure entertainment, because we go to Instagram to turn off our brains, to get away from work. But LinkedIn's the opposite. People get on LinkedIn to do work, to connect with people that would help them do their work better. That would be valuable connections, to have valuable conversations. Listen, all the things I just told you, connection, conversation, conversion. Well, 2 of the 3 I just mentioned, that's why they're there. They don't go there to be sold to, but good conversations lead to great conversions. It'll happen. Easy, natural, 1, 2, 3. But the secret thing that nobody thinks about. Yeah, I mean, the bar is so much lower. You don't get insane viral views, but if you do the daily 3, which is what I break down in the free course, Your Perfect Week on Video in the Skool community, Small Business Video School, you should get there and get into it.
Before I talked to you just now, I didn't know that.
The core is actually not your video. You can make one simple video a week as long as you're doing the daily 3, and it'll all work out fine in the end. The daily 3, what is it? You comment, you make connections, and you start conversations. The daily 3, 3, 3, 3, 3 of each. That doesn't make sense. Join the free Skool community. It's 2 minutes of video a day, basically. Maybe 3, maybe 5, but it's really, really short. I have made it my one goal in life to remove all the friction, to make it as simple and easy as possible. And I'm giving it away for free. This is stuff I taught in my $2,500 cohort last year in 2025. And my business strategy, which might sound kind of nuts, is to give that away completely for free in 2026, because everything is moving, everything's changing, and the stuff that I just figured I'd make you some money before I sell you the really valuable stuff. But you do that, you're gonna get clients. And then you can afford. Well, M Pro is very affordably priced at $59 a month. That doesn't sound affordable. Do the daily 3, do Your Perfect Week on Video. And by the way, there's a follow-up, Your Perfect Quarter, ... I won't spoil it, but you gotta go check out skool.com/video school. If you're in it but you haven't started, you gotta go in. It's the best work I've ever done, I swear. Cross my heart and hope to die. Bum, bum. Okay, last one. Last valuable piece. More than LinkedIn short video? Yes. Videos in your DMs. Videos in your DMs. And I'm not gonna say too much about that, except you should watch the next video where I break down more about what I'm doing with videos in DMs. But that's it. This is one of my longer vlogs. If you hung in with me to the end, say the end in the comments. I appreciate you so much. 22 minutes, my friends, 22 minutes. I so appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.